back with comedian David Boyle, and I'm quitting alcohol. So my solo Indian show is up, live and for sale now. The Boyle's Indian debut, Stranded. Let's see how this fucking goes. The first show is definitely going to be clunky. It's going to take me like 3 or 4 shows to iron out the fucking creases in it because I'm trying to put it together in 10-minute chunks. I got my second 10 minutes together last night. I did the late show and it was fucking a little bit difficult. I went there early and watched the regular show and it was fucking pumping in there. I wish I was on that fucking show. So the late show started at like 11:15. A lot of the crowd from the regular show stayed for the late show and they were just fucking cooked by the end of it. By the time I got on, it was like 11:45. Cunts were yawning, cunts were fixing up their bills. So I did like 10 to 12 to these sleepy cunts. And I thought I wasn't going too well, but I was looking closer and everyone was laughing. It was just they weren't making any noise when they were laughing. It was the fucking weirdest thing. So they were moving their heads and opening their mouths, but nothing was like coming out. So you listen back to it and you think it's like wall-to-wall bomb, but it wasn't exactly a bomb in the room. Most things actually hit, except there was no fucking audible response. So that also throws off your timing. It's a fucking shit fight here. That's the only way I can describe comedy in India at the moment. An absolute fucking shit fight. It's not even just the language barrier, which exists. They pretend it doesn't exist. I asked the crowd, I'm like, do you understand my accent? Everyone says yes. And then after the show, people will come up, like the crowd members will come up and have a chat, and I'm speaking to them, and they don't understand a fucking word I'm saying. They're staring at me blankly, just in conversation. And I'm like, when I said, do you understand my accent? Why the fuck did you say yes? It's not just that. It's also these fucking Indians, like half the crowd was from Kerala. And Kerala is right down the south. They're like alcoholics. They have a communist government down there. It's all green. They're like in the jungle down there. And the other half of the crowd was from like Delhi, which is just the opposite. It's just a fucking urban jungle. A polluted fucking massive people. I was actually in Delhi for a couple of hours on the way back from the Himis the other day, and I've never been to a more polluted city in my entire life. It was fucked, and I'd been reading in the newspapers and hearing in the news about the air pollution in Delhi, but I was like, well, it's bad in Bangalore too. But no, like you can't even spend a night in Delhi. You could barely see 100 fucking meters in front of you. And that was the pollution. And then you get into the airport and the pollution's in the airport as well. Like it's misty and smoggy in the airport. There's no escaping it and everyone's fucking coughing too. Delhi is a fucking problem. I don't know how people can live there. It was like a thick blanket of fucking just smog. I even wore my mask there. I put my mask on. That's how fucking bad it was. So anyway, yeah, half the crowd was from Delhi. And if those halves of the crowd, the half from Kerala and the half from Delhi, sat next to each other and started speaking to each other, they would have very little to talk about themselves. They're both Indian, but fucking just barely. Like people from Kerala don't speak Hindi at all. They don't understand a fucking word of Hindi. They just do not speak it. And people in Delhi are like just hardcore Hindi. And I've got a couple of jokes that are in Kannada that are funny if you know Kannada, but these cunts come to Bangalore and they don't learn Kannada, so fucking those jokes are useless. It's just an absolute fucking shit fight at the moment. The temptation is to do like really general jokes that cover all bases, but I fucking hate doing that hack shit. I mean, some of this stuff in the show is a little bit hacky, but I use it to get from one joke to another. The hacky shit is used as like a bridge to another bit. This is technical. But I don't want to do hacks, so I've gone the opposite direction. I've gone specific and brutal. And I'm trying to make it more and more brutal. But because I've decided to go in that direction, means I'm going to take a few fucking hits. I tell you what, I am looking forward to getting in front of a fucking English-speaking audience. Not even that, just fucking a crowd with the same culture as I have, which is virtually no culture at all. This has been challenging to say the least, but the show has to go on. So on the 19th of December, I'll be doing my first show. The plan is to do maybe 4 or 5 of them, and then I'll go to Mumbai, and there's a club there called Habitat, and they film you. They have a 3-camera setup. It's a proper club. You give them some money, and they fucking film the whole thing. So fucking maybe by mid to late January, early February, the plan is to go there, film it, and then fucking forget about it for the rest of my life. That's the plan, but we'll see what fucking happens. I hope you can hear the struggle in my voice. I am not enjoying this process at all. It has not been easy for like even 1 second, any step of the way. Anyway, that will do for tonight. I better get back and keep writing this fucking absolute nightmare of a show. If you're enjoying the podcast, share it around with your friends. Don't take no for an answer either. If they go, oh, I don't listen to podcasts, go shut the fuck up, cunt. People need to be bullied. They don't know what's good for them, so just bully the fuck out of them. Anyway, share it around. That's it. I'll see you the fuck later.